Hey folks, welcome back to Mr. Yacht Plays Final Fantasy IX. We continue our journey to get the Excalibur 2, perfect stats, and a 100% file. Thank you for coming back for another video. Today is all about shopping, collecting items, and moving the story along. Two exciting things happen, the cotton robe trick and the Festival of the Hunt. Let's get started, shall we? Here is our major shopping part of the run. Lindblum features a fancy trick called Cotton Robe Trick. The goal here is to get the items we need while also making money. First thing is we need some money. I sell 5 High Potion, 11 Ether, 2 Remedy, 1 Phoenix Pinion, and 3 Tint. I buy 12 Steepled Hat to start the trick. From the armory, we go to the Synthesis shop. Synthesis takes items to make a new item. Here, we use the wrists we purchase in Dali and the steepled hats to make cotton robes. Before doing more of the trick, I will run back in the shop and get silver gloves. I will show the first exchange of cotton robes, then I will speed up the rest. Short explanation, the cost to make cotton robes from the wrists and steepled hats and the sell price of cotton robes actually earns you gil. Unfortunately, we can only hold 99 wrists, so we will make that many cotton robes. The extra gil goes toward buying and synthesizing items. We only have so much gil at a time, so we buy the steepled hats in groups, synthesize cotton robes, sell cotton robes, and repeat until we are done. With our remaining money, we are going to buy 1 dagger, 2 mage masher, 1 javelin, and 41 steepled hat. At the synthesis shop, we're going to make butterfly sword, the ogre, 38 cotton robes, 4 desert boots, and 4 yellow scarf. From there, we're going to move the story along by changing districts. Now that we did everything from the districts that do not advance the story, let's check out the theater district. In the theater district, we see an ATE with Steiner looking at a building. Before we go to the Tantalus hideout, Zidane meets a group of wild fans. The actor disappears and a giant Moogle appears. We chase the Moogle to its hiding place. By doing this, we collect 2 missable key items: autograph from Lowell and Moogle suit from the drawer. Now we can advance the story by going into the Tantalus hideout. Garnet cannot leave the castle since she is under protection. We collect more items, and we get to see what Baku and crew are doing. They are trying to figure out how to free Blank from petrification without removing petrification from the entire forest. We're back in Lindblum Castle to talk with Garnet. Unfortunately, Garnet is missing. Zidane hears Garnet singing and goes to find her, but he cannot get past the guards. Lucky for us, there's a sleepy guard that we lure into Garnet's room, ambush, and take the guard's outfit. Time to find Garnet. There was a scene here, but the audio and video were cut once again to avoid copyright. Garnet and Zidane observe the surrounding areas. We see Southgate, where we flew in on the airship, Aerbs Mountains, the marshland, Seabell River, and a chocobo forest. Garnet is pretty down on herself regarding everything with Queen Brane and whatnot. They also talk about what would happen if Garnet decided not to go with them, and Zidane mentions a thing to help her go to sleep, and then she sings her song. At the same time, we see Steiner back at the armory, Vivi in town looking at soldier dolls, and Freya in the theater district. Exciting news for everyone! The Festival of the Hunt is underway. Zidane, Vivi, and Freya will enter the contest. The goal is to get the most points to receive a reward from Regent Sid. Before we get started with the festival, we have some things to do. We collect some items, rearrange the item inventory, equip Zidane's weapons, armor, and Beast Killer ability, move Zidane to the back row, Mognet our letters, and save the game. It's time for the festival. There are 3 positive outcomes for the festival. Zidane wins, Freya wins, or Vivi wins. Zidane gets 5k gil for winning, Freya gets a coral ring for winning, and Vivi gets a card for winning. Ideally you want to win with Zidane or Freya, but Vivi needs to win for the achievement. Because of this, I let Vivi win. As a note, this music is copyrighted, so I had to mute the scene and add some copyright-free music. To explain the setup, I was intending to have Freya win since I already got the achievement for Vivi. If I had a completely successful festival, then I would steal from the final enemy and let Freya kill it. This would give Freya a win by manipulating the score. Unfortunately, I do get the steal, but it is too late in the setup. This causes me to default to letting Vivi win by having Zidane and Freya get knocked out by the final enemy. The setup is to encounter a beast enemy, let it attack me until I am 1 or 2 hits away from trance, kill the enemy in 1 attack, and then pause the game until the timer hits 4:30. At this point, Freya is in the lead, so if she kills the final beast, she wins the festival. If both characters get knocked out, we end the festival and Vivi wins automatically. Now that the fight manipulation is done, I can heal Zidane, and you can see I only have 1 potion left. And then I just check key items really quickly. All of this is actually just to burn the time. So once I check out everything, I'm going to just wait until 4:30, and I will just cut everything here so you can see me move on with the rest of the festival. Here is the Zagnol. It is pretty hard hitting, but it is very easy to defeat with the setup. Ideally, you steal the Needle Fork weapon, go into trance, use 1 Dyne ability and Freya's jump, and win! If you don't steal the Needle Fork in time, you lose your trance and don't get the easy kill. I also tried to throw my spare tent onto the enemy. This would make it blind, so it would have a harder time landing physical attacks. That failed. Freya also gets knocked out by thunder, so if I don't steal the Needle Fork, I have to reset. Thankfully, I stole the Needle Fork and end the segment with Zidane knocked out. This means Vivi will win the festival. Let's move on. Vivi wins the festival and gets a key item reward that we get if any of the 3 win. That's why one of them must win the festival since they are all in the party. The secondary item does not matter too much at the end of the day, but pick your preference. After receiving the reward, a wounded Burmesian soldier appears. The soldier is the same race as Freya, by the way. The soldier informs the group that an unknown force attacked Burmecia. Regent will send forces that way, but Freya needs to go now. Zidane agrees to help. The team will go through the Dragon Gate. Prior to leaving, the team has a feast. Weirdly enough, everyone falls asleep except for Garnet and Steiner? What happened? Well, during Zidane and Garnet's conversation at the telescope, Zidane told Garnet that if she was not willing to leave the Tantalus, he was giving her something to help her go to sleep. Garnet tells Zidane that she has not been sleeping well and asks Zidane to give it to her. Plot twist, she used that on the food so she could escape with Steiner. No worries. Zidane, Freya, and Vivi will go to Burmecia. Looks like our party is now split up. From Sid's room, we exit to the base level, collect 2 more items, and finish up this part of the run. The final part is to Magna and save. The next segment is going to be much different compared to the start of the run, since the world will open up for us to do different activities. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video. Bye!